We test out a lot of Apple Watch apps on this channel, and since we're approaching the end of the year, I'm gonna go ahead and narrow down the most useful apps that I would consider to call the app of the year. So if you just recently got an Apple Watch or you're looking for some very useful applications, continue watching this video as I'm gonna go ahead and run you through the 10 apps that I would highly recommend everybody to download or at least check out, because these are the apps that I get the most use out of my Apple Watch. Let's get started. All right, let's start off this application by talking about one of my most used applications, and that is Shazam, which is right here. What I like about Shazam is not only will it be able to detect the songs by listening, but will also keep a library of previously listened tracks on your phone. So as soon as it identifies whatever song you were listening to that was playing in the background, you could go on your phone, it will actually save it and allow you to add it to your playlist or other streaming platform and such. But in addition to that, you can also have it set as a complication. Let me go ahead and switch to one of my most used watch faces. But there is a Shazam complication where if you could tap, it will immediately start listening and identifying whatever song it's playing in the background. I prefer doing this method instead of verbally asking Siri, because you don't have to verbally say anything out loud. You can just tap here and it'll automatically begin listening and will save that track to your phone so you can go back and search it on the internet. But that is Shazam in a nutshell, and it's been reliable ever since. Now the next application, go back to this watch face, is Brush. This app is free to download and very similar to like the new hand washing feature on the Apple Watch, where it'll automatically start a timer. This application can be used as a complication, and whenever you tap on it, you hit start. It'll start a timer, and every 30 seconds it will give you a haptic tap on your wrist so you can switch to the different position of your mouth to brush your teeth. And if you exit out of that, the complication is still updating on the time as well. And when it's done, it'll give you a check mark, and not only that, it will actually send this information on the health app as well. But you could change the duration, it keeps track of your sprees, but if you like to extend the duration, you can easily do so right here. But that's about it. It's just a quick, awesome application, a cool tool that will make sure you properly wash your teeth. Another cool application is called Carrot. Carrot is basically a weather application that basically will show you all the crucial information in a really clean layout. You can add locations directly off the watch. You can adjust the settings. You can make it speak out loud if you like to. In addition to that, you can also scroll through the time as well. You can click for more detail like an ordinary app. I just like the way that this gives you slightly more information in your typical standard weather application, like the wind speed and cloud coverage and such. And I also like the fact that our complications really clean, as it'll show you the current temperature as well as the progress that we are throughout the day. But that's basically it. Another awesome complication slash app that I use the most is Outcast. It's a podcast app that actually gives you a lot of useful tools that you don't expect to find on an Apple Watch. As a fine example, not only can you change the color, the application itself, see? You can also adjust the audio, of course. You can also increase the speed if you want to finish a certain podcast in a faster rate. But there also is Siri controls. With this application, you can literally just request Siri to play the official podcast in Outcast. And in addition to that, you can also download directly on the Apple Watch. So you don't have to be attached to an iPhone to listen to it or have internet connection if you don't have the LTE version Apple Watch. You could add episodes just like this, and you can also look through different episodes as well as certain podcasts. And you can play it and stream it directly off the watch or download, as I previously mentioned. And it will also give you the date and other information right here about a certain podcast. And yes, you can search for other podcasts as well by using dictation, scribbles, or look for like the top trending podcast type of thing. You can basically browse through everything on the Apple Watch with this Outcast app. So this is a must-have application in my opinion for anybody who also listens to a lot of podcasts on the go. Another one of my favorite applications is Pacer Step, which I use on my fitness side watch face. It actually will tally up every step right here where you actually tap on, where I will show you the amount of steps you have taken during the day, and will also show your goal right here. I prefer using this application because of this complication instead of using the activity rings and having to scroll down to where you see steps. This just allows me to quickly just take a quick glance and see the number of steps right here instead of having to do that. But the application itself, that's basically it. It's free to download and it just does that. And I like it because it just keeps things more simple and easy to view this information. Moving along, another app that I use a lot, what I used to use a lot back when I used to work at retail and I had to commute a lot, is ETA. Not only is it a dedicated complication you can have on your watch face, but when you tap on this, it will basically tell you the current traffic conditions. So right now, traffic conditions is all good because everything is green, but if it was packed, it will be red. And then if there was like a small traffic jam, these icons will be yellow. Basically, it will always show you the ETA that will take you to get from your current spot to these dedicated locations. And when you click on it, get out, it will actually tell you the little forecast right here of traffic conditions so far in the next 2 hours. So right now it's still good, but if we head to this direction, it will take us about 25 minutes. And down here, you can also click on directions, which will launch the map app. And you can add a lot more of these locations here as well on your iPhone. So if you want to add more, this basically was my go-to application when it came to quickly checking the traffic report so that I wouldn't show up to work late, or that I had a better understanding when to take my lunch if I'm going somewhere. Another app that I cannot live without is phone battery. So we know you could check the battery life of your Apple Watch by bringing up the control center like so, but this application right here will actually show us the battery life percentage of our iPhone. So if you click on this, right now my iPhone is charging, so it's currently at 68%, 1% shy from 69. I'll allow it. But here you could tap settings, you could change the display style, but that's basically it. Let me see if I could launch the app on the App Store and give you the actual overview. Out of all these, this one was the only one that I actually liked the most and actually performed really well. So yeah, basically you could put a complication on your wrist, and we'll also send you push notifications whenever your phone is about to die, and etc. That's basically it. Another application that I use the most is the camera app. I like using this because not only will it automatically launch the camera application on our iPhone, but it also gives you access to the digital crown, which you could actually switch between your ultra wide lens, telephoto lens, and etc. depending on the iPhone model you're using. But in addition to that, I like using this as a viewfinder. This is perfect whenever you're trying to take like a group selfie. Instead of using the front camera, you could continue using the rear camera and view all that information right here on your wrist. And of course, you could take a photo right here, which I have it on a 3-second timer. But if you click this little dot icon, you could take off that timer and you have other settings and options to choose from. Unfortunately, you cannot switch between different modes on your wrist. You have to actually grab your phone to do that if you want to switch to video, but you can preview some of the previously shot shots. But if you press and hold, it does shoot a video this way. It just won't stay on that mode unless you physically get the iPhone. But yeah, native app, but extremely useful. Another native app that I use the most is the voice memo app. Before, I used to always rely on third parties when it came to taking voice notes, but now, very recently, Apple allowed it so that you can actually record off the Apple Watch. Not only that, whenever you end recording, it'll immediately be synchronized on your iPhone, so you can listen to it later, but you can also play it right here on your wrist as well, and you can also delete it. But voice memo app, extremely useful, especially when you're trying to take a quick note on the go. And the microphone quality isn't that bad, especially on the Apple Watch. And lastly, if you're a fitness junkie like me, I would highly recommend downloading Heart Analyzer. This complication is really useful, especially if you work out a lot, because this allows me to keep track of my heart rate so that I'm always warm. Boy, the caffeine is really kicking in right now with me. I swear, this is not my, I guess I'm too excited to show you guys this application, but it will actually show you a graph, but will also, if you go down, will give you additional information on your average heart rate, when you're at rest, and the current highest of the day. And yes, it also keeps track of the blood oxygen level as well if you're using a Series 6 Apple Watch like I am. In addition to that, it also keeps track of your calorie burn. And if you switch to this side, it gives you more additional information as well from previous days. Yeah, amazing application, especially if you're also into fitness and you also use the workout app a lot on your Apple Watch. It basically will summarize everything right here. Really neat and quick, and the application is free to download. And there we have it. That was the essential apps of the year. That's what I'm gonna go ahead and call them. These are the apps that I find myself using day to day, and I've been using them throughout the entire year. I'll be sure to have links to these apps in the video description down below, so everything is literally a click away. If you got some good use out of this video, I'd greatly appreciate if you could actually leave this video a like, but also get subscribed for more Apple content similar like this on this channel. If you'd like to see the complete playlist of other applications that we covered in this channel, you can go ahead and watch that playlist right over here. And then for some gaming applications, if you're looking for some fun apps to download on your wrist, you could also go ahead and check out this video over here. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. Take care, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you all in the next one.